Greetings, 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 dear Cancer. This one is for you. That's you, Cancer, there. This is Star Lumination with your general report. It's kind of broad spiritual perspective for what we call June 2018. Okay? And let's just get straight into the little notes here that I've been doing for everybody else so you don't feel left out or anything. All right? This is just a list of dates that I'm sharing, that I've shared with everybody. I've marked these on my own calendar just to be extra alert. Going through June, there's a lot of froth, there's a lot of activity. June itself, the Gemini energy can be very fun. For you, Cancer, if you want to get serious, like the June energy would represent your solar 12th house. So it could feel like a time of things unwinding, things coming to rest, where you lose momentum, everything is fading out as you face the beginning of a whole new year cycle, starting all over again. So that's going on anyway. Also, just below the surface of all the activity, there is a lot of activity. What I think of as riptides and undertows that are in some ways very treacherous, some ways beautiful. So you have to be very alert this month to get through and make the best of it. Think of it as big wave surfing. It's very gorgeous out there for big wave surfing right now, but you got to be very alert, okay? Not that I know anything about how to actually surf, although I've tried. Here we go. Here's the dates. Very early on in the month, we're coming straight in with a big fat grand water trine. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, and followed very quickly by basically, excuse me, let me get this other list here. I got some other notes for you. Followed very quickly by a big Cancer Capricorn opposition here. So this big, juicy, succulent, nutritious water trine, which is very nice for you, is there. It's right in your face. I'm hoping you take full advantage of that. And simultaneously, you've got Capricorn seriously opposing you. So there's a lot of chance for awareness and learning through the energy of opposition. Perhaps you've got a significant other from which you are learning tremendous amounts right now in very nutritious, fun, enjoyable, comfortable ways. And it doesn't always happen that way. Sometimes our learning is very, very challenging, as we'll see in a moment. So this big water trine is kind of on and off loosely for the whole month. Other dates. Let's just go over straight to here. June the 10th, June 14th, June 15th, 19th, 23, 29, and 30. Those are all dates that I've highlighted specifically to be on extra alert. The thing is, what's happening is that during June, there are some serious squaring offs going on between Mars in Aquarius and the Leo North Node, and there's the Uranus and Taurus ingress that just happened as well. So, and later on we have the same thing, only with Scorpio. We've got the Leo Aquarius T-square going on with Taurus here. So that's, excuse me, Taurus here, and then it goes into Scorpio over here. So without getting into the complexities of it all, there are some very delicious energies happening, and there are some very challenging energies happening at the same time. The thing for you, Cancer, I had to make a special note here. Actually, I should have made an actual proper full-on Tarot Illumination style Astro Doodle. So we're going to just have to do it right now. Dang, I should have done it earlier. Please forgive me. This is the thing that I'm focused on for you for this month, okay? Throughout the whole of this month, we got this big fat water trine, okay? A grand trine. Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio energies. All good for you in one form or another. And there's an ongoing long-term thing over here with the Capricorn energy, okay? Where we have Pluto plus Saturn. This is long-term transit, so we're not going to get into it here, but there will be periods of time during the month, like when the moon transits here and when the moon transits here, where this axis is going to be very lit up. This is not a love and relationship report reading, but the dynamics of profound one-on-one relationship are very strongly lit up at the moment, especially towards the end of the month when the sun moves into Cancer. Okay, the sun moves into Cancer here. All right. So those are the dates that I wanted to pick out for you in particular. Very early in the month and throughout the month, we've got the big fat water trine. The 15th of the month, 15th of June, we have the moon in Cancer, give or take a day or two either side. So you could feel very sensitive, very aware at that time. Okay? All your doubts, all your worries, all your deepest intuitive perceptions being very highlighted and very strongly opposed at the same time by the Saturn-Pluto thing. So that's potentially challenging, but also a lot of awareness possible there. The 21st, the sun goes into Cancer, so that's good for you. 25th and 27th, the moon goes into Capricorn, piling up the Pluto-Saturn oppositions here. So again, this axis will be very strongly lit up. So this is a really good month for you, Cancer, to find out a lot about yourself and take full advantage of the very nutritious energy that's out there, especially as it pertains to your most fundamental relationships. I highly recommend going to the Love and Relationship playlist and watching all of those. Especially watch for your sun, moon, and rising if all three are different. Or maybe you're a triple Cancer, who knows? But just, you can figure that stuff out, okay? Sorry this took a long time, but I felt I had to emphasize it because of the strong emphasis on the Cancer-Capricorn axis. So there we go. Let's get into it. No jumpers, no flyers, no oracles, no reversals. Sorry about that. Not enough time, not enough room. And we're going to use this journey spread with the heart at the very center at the core. And the whole idea is to get you fully aligned with your heart energy, okay? That's the whole theme here with love and with Tarot Lumination. It's all about the healing power of love, okay? The healing power of love. Bring your team in. Bring in Team Cancer. Make this a team effort. Tarot Lumination has spirit guides and angels and all that. Basically, it's a group thing that goes on here. So I invite you to do the same. It works much better when you have like your people with you. All right. Over here we are. We're going to begin. Core heart energy. That's you at the core. Okay. Cancer, the heart needs what it needs. It knows what it needs. And it has to get that. You have to provide that. So it requires you to listen very closely and understand your heart at the very core level. Anything less than that, you are disserving yourself. Love thyself. Another core theme here at Tarot Lumination. Okay? Whatever this might be. Over here, legacy energy. What are you bringing in with you? Think of yourself coming into a meeting here. What's going on? Put your stuff on the table. What are your issues? Are you happy about things? You sad about things? Confused? What is it? Maybe you're bringing in a whole mixed bag of stuff. Over here, the energy of the ever-present now. A lot of times people find it difficult to be there. Cancerians, you're very well noted for dwelling in the past and clinging to the cozy, wonderful, lovely things that mean so much to you, the stability and the security of home and family and all those things. And yet the whole world moves on around, you know. So sometimes you can, you know, you can almost be like, spiritually speaking, housebound or a real homebody in some ways. And yet there's the whole world out there calling you. So it can be difficult sometimes to be here because sometimes we use the past as a template for projecting in the future, and without actually taking stock of the present, like what's actually happening right now. What is the full menu that you have on our plate here, Cancer, as opposed to your 3D perceptions? We're talking about going 5D and 7D here. So because that's where your power lies. And you have the big broad spectrum awareness, and then you can make much better, much healthier decisions about loving thyself. So it is in the present where you own your power, where you have your power. It's just that sometimes it's very uncomfortable to be there unless you know, maybe you're already gifted. Maybe you're kind of an artist or something, or very gifted at what you do, and you're naturally in the zone all the time. It's pretty rare, but it does happen. But when you're in the zone, when you're in your power, when you're fully present, grounded, conscious, and here, that's where you can execute your power through the healing power of your decisions. What am I going to do with my power now? What is the best thing I can do to love myself right now, which is the best thing for my significant others and for the whole planet, frankly. The question is, how do we do that, okay, to actually make it work? You might have an awareness here and a need and a conscious understanding of what needs to be decided and how to decide, but this is more about the functions. How do you do it effectively so that it actually works, so you can turn it into a formula? Over here, the energy of consequence. If you have been outsourcing all your power to friends, family, situations, obligations, jobs, ambitions, careers, mortgages, car payments, credit cards, tremendous pressures coming from externally, a lot of it might be nothing to do with you, it's just circumstantial, then this could feel like fate. And you could just say, well, that's just life, I signed a contract for this job. I'm now doing 60 hours a week and I don't even like it. Well, what are you going to do about it? Okay, maybe you're in a relationship that you don't really like and it's not actually working for you. What are you going to do about it? Oh, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. No, let's stay present. Let's stay now. Let's take charge of this. Let's own it. Let's stay in our power. What are we going to do about this? And then you own it, and then you create consequences. It might not be fun for everybody, but it's the most loving thing you can do for yourself. So what happens if you're having a rough day and you're completely hiding at home under the blankets and not handling the big wave surf energy that's out there right now, even with all the big fat water trines? Maybe it's too much for you. I don't know. You would know, but because I have to actually, let me go back to this a moment. Sorry, forgive me, dear Cancer. With this energy here, behind the scenes, I was focusing very much on the nice green energies here, the water trines, and the Capricorn Cancer thing. But there's some very treacherous, hard to challenge energies going on as well, with the Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, Scorpio axes. And they're getting very choppy towards the end of the month, and you might instinctively, intuitively feel that, and you might be very, let's say, very driven or very intuitively, let's say, drawn to take cover, hide. It's understandable. Maybe it's the best thing is to let the choppy waves go over you and forget about the whole month. On the other hand, it might be an idea to go in there and face it and just deal with it. So what happens if you're messing up? What are you losing? What happens if you're in the zone, you're in your power, and you're active here? How does that work for you? We're not going to put too much pressure on you, Cancer, because it is your 12th house type of month energy. So it would be okay for you to chill out, check out, basically say, I'm done. I'm just going to ride out the clock until the sun moves into Cancer, and then we'll go from there. Okay, I would understand. Don't worry, Cancer, don't worry. So let's have a look at prospects for the next beat of the heart. The heart is always working for you, Cancer, beating, pumping all the nutrients to where it needs to go, removing all the waste and pumping that out through the waste system where that needs to go. Are you aware of that? Are you loving yourself, Cancer? Are you nurturing yourself, or are you nurturing others? Are you a compassion junkie, depleting yourself? Why not fill your cup first? And then you'll have so much more to offer. Okay, let's have a look. Here we go. Circumstantial energy. It's out there. What are we going to do with this? Oh, no, oh, no, oh, no. Okay, I'm sorry if I scared you there a little bit, Cancer, but it's time to realize how incredibly wealthy and lucky you are. Think of it this way. Wow, I'm Cancerian. I'm a very lucky person. I'm a very wealthy person. Who knew? I'm a very happy person. Oh my gosh, I'm a very blessed person. Yeah, somewhere, somehow you got that, Cancer. Let's think of this as, this is a very bold reflection of the planetary weather out there, the big fat water trine, the big grand kite thing with the Cancer Capricorn. It's time to be incredibly aware right now how incredibly fortunate and lucky you are to have so much abundance, to have value, to have values, to value others, to be valued by others, and having so much that you can share and that others can share with you. It's like mutual shared energy here. It's like it's almost like for you, this is ideal weather, Cancer. Like this is like the energy of family and abundance, like people who love you. And it's the evidence of love. It's not who's got the biggest house and who's got, it's like, it doesn't matter whether you're physically a pauper, uh, because you can still have a lot of love and own a lot of love, even if you're living in a shack. Okay? So that's what I'm feeling here. There's a lot of love, and it's the evidence of love. All right. And it's circumstantial. It's very nutritious. It's very supportive for you, Cancer, right now. So let's make the best of it. What's going on at the heart core? Let's have a look. Well, you're getting what you deserve. Okay? So somewhere, somehow, my feeling here with the Justice card, it's about time, Cancer. It's about time for you to, for justice. Okay? Where, you know, Pluto and Saturn are out there in your 7th house of relationship, okay? That's very heavy, tough, reality checking type of energy. And it's going to go on for years. Let's just face it, okay? At least a couple more years. And it's going to get triggered every month, you know, with the lunar cycles, you know, moon in Cancer, moon in Capricorn, 13 times a year for at least 2 years. That's all good for you. It's a tremendous, like, it's like a very nutritious environment for you to become more and more and more aware and grow into your own wealth, into your own abundance. And for that to happen, it means, to me, it indicates that you have made a conscious decision to put yourself like in the vortex, in the zone where you are willing, you are ready, willing, and able to receive your bounty. You are worthy, deserving, and open to receive your bounty. Conscious decisions that you've made in the years past have brought you to this point now where your heart can accept that. And it's very majestic. It's very, let's say, decreed. It has been decreed that you are getting what you deserve, and it is good. What you deserve is good. You might not understand it. Maybe you don't feel it happening to you, but at the heart level, this is what's happening. It might not make sense to you in 3D, but your heart, it looks to me that you're getting the bounty that you deserve, and it is coming at you. It might not be in ways that you can understand fully right now, but it is there. There's a lot out there that's very, very good for you, Cancer. Your heart knows that, needs that, and wants that. So it's saying to you, it's saying like, hey, dear Cancer, please be aware that this is our time. It's our time to collect, okay, to receive. So let's go for it, please. And it's up to you, Cancer, to listen and go, okay, I see what you're talking about. Let's get in the zone. If we have to, let's actually get in the water and surf this thing out. Okay. Over here, what are you bringing in with you? Okay. Well, with the Page of Cups here, my feeling is that it's like, maybe it's almost like you've ended up here by accident. Like, you know, in a very like pure, loving, simple way. You've just been doing the best you could all along anyway. You're not forcing some kind of spiritual ascendance here. You're not trying to get rich. You're not trying to, you're not trying to grab it all and have it all. You've just been living a life, including your own innocence, and let's just say even a little bit of ignorance about how it all works, but you kept yourself going anyway, doing the best you can to be loving of yourself and loving of others, knowing that there's always more to learn and that you've always had good intentions. It's like you're coming into a meeting and saying, Tarot Illumination, I'm really glad we're hanging out together. I got to tell you, I can feel some really good stuff going on. I also know from what you've told me that there's some very challenging things going on, but I think I can handle it. I know I'm getting what I deserve. I can see this out the window. I know exactly what you're talking about. I look around me, I look around my world, and I realize how incredibly lucky I am to have the abundance that I have. Attitude of gratitude times a million. Thank you very much. And I get that, dear Tarot Illumination, but I'm coming in, I have to tell you, I still feel like there is so much to learn. And what do we do now? Where are we going to go now? Because I want to know. I want to know much more. I want to know a lot more about love thyself. What are you talking about here? Okay, so that's good. And so Terra Illumination says, okay, well, you asked a good question, Cancer. Thank you. I'm glad. I feel you're in the right place. Let's have a look. What about the ever present now? Where are you? Okay, well, this is courageous. I'm happy for you. To me, this looks like there's a lot of, to me, it feels like youthful innocence. It doesn't matter about your biological age. I'm talking about your like inner core, your passion, your drives, your commitment to self, your, let's say, did I say courage? Did I say courage? Okay, let's just say it again. Your courage against all odds. And look at you prevailing. Like, and all you needed to hear right now is a very simple pat on the shoulder. Terra Illumination is telling you, listen, Cancer, you're doing a really good job. In fact, in some ways, you might be doing a lot better than a lot of people. Maybe you don't know that. Maybe they don't know that, but you are. You've got something really good going on here, Cancer. It's all around you. You are surrounded by abundance. You're swimming in abundance. This is the evidence of love, okay? Not the wishy dreams of it or the wanting or the desire or the romance of it. This is the evidence of love. This is the receiving of love in hard times when friends and family have been there for you, and the giving of love in hard times when you've been there for friends and family when they needed you and you brought all your gifts and talents. Over here, it's just like, this is you, Cancer, and I'm letting you see yourself, Cancer, like you're doing a really, really good job. Yes, this can be very challenging at times, and yes, sometimes you can feel as though you might not prevail, but you are. You are prevailing. Look at this. You're, in fact, it's almost like the pressures that you've endured are making you stronger and more courageous. And to me, that's very uplifting. It's like being in the zone, like being an artist or a painter, and they're on the flow, but then they get really in the flow. It's just like, oh my gosh, I can feel it. Everything that I've had to put up with right now is exactly as it should be. And now I'm creating my masterpiece under extreme duress, because that's often how the most amazing things happen. They come out of extreme duress. Okay, let's have a look. Over here, the healing power of your decisions. When you're in the now, maxing out here. Okay, more evidence of love. To me, this is an indication where either you've learned the hard way or you're still in the process of learning that what often counts is not going to get love, not trying to find love. This is not a love and relationship report, by the way, but there is evidence of love here, and with the strong the big planet energy over there in the seventh house, the dynamic of relationship is kind of inevitable that it's going to show up a little bit in this reading. So all I'm suggesting here is when you're in the zone and you're, maxed out, but you're enduring and you're holding up very, very well, you're realizing like these are the ingredients, these are the circumstances that are bringing out the best in you. And you're realizing that one of the simple secrets is that you remove yourself from anything that would like resemble conflict and anything that would undermine the love coming to you in your life and moving towards what would be loving for you, making it a deliberate choice. In other words, let's just say you have all this energy and power, like combat energy, the ability to go to war. What are you going to do with your energies? Are you going to fight and fight and fight? Or are you going to take your energies that could be used for war and instead bring love to yourself? Okay? It's a question of allocation of resources here. Think of this as resources. You have so much abundance, so many resources. Are you going to squander this on war between yourself or between others? Are you going to worry about all the chaos and drama and the pain and the suffering in the world? Or are you going to love yourself and keep it very, very simple? You have the right to do that. You don't have to save the world. You don't have to nurture and save the whole world. It starts with you. So to me, it's like an indication, like Terra Illumination is saying you have permission when you're making your decisions, Cancer, to love yourself first. Make that the number one priority, understanding that, and then putting actions behind words so that the love turns into evidence. What exactly is it that you need right now for you, Cancer, to be loved and to be happy? Is it more rest? Is it more sleep? Is it encouragement from outside? Is it nurture from others? Do you need resolution on some problems? Do you need conflict resolution? Do you need help? Whatever it is that your loving heart intuition is telling you that you need, you would listen to it and then take action accordingly, okay? And turn it into evidence. Now that can be quite hard to do if you've been consumed just trying to keep going, just trying to stay alive, and the energies of war have depleted you, okay? I'm not talking about actual war in Syria or wherever the battles are right now. I'm talking about the internal warfare that we all deal with every day, where sometimes we deplete ourselves so much. It doesn't have to be that way. How are we going to move forward effectively? Okay, again, like you invoke the courage. You ask, I know this isn't a love card, but to me this is about making this very deliberate, bold thing. I ask for the healing power of love to fill my body from up above. I ask for the healing power of love to fill my mind from up above. I ask for the healing power of love to fill my heart from up above. I ask for the healing power of love to fill my soul from up above. And then I'm going to go with it. And once I have that, and once I own it, and then I bring that to myself, okay? And I walk away. I basically blow off. I remove myself from the combat zones, and I turn towards deep, deep self-love and make that a principle. You can write it in stone. Okay, let's have a look. Consequently, that means you taking charge. It's just, this is a very, very strong indication that if you see this as a formula, as a process, and like keep the courage going, make it your number one priority to love thyself first, love thyself, and proved evidence of love, even if it sounds very, very strange and very selfish and very narcissistic and very egoic, like we're trying to build an egomaniac. That's not what we're doing here. We're talking about deep self-love. What does that create in terms of consequence? It creates a kind of a way of being where like you have control, you have ownership of your life, and it gives you a chance to move forward and evolve in ways that you might have never done before. Because you're taking ownership of all the hidden like shadow side of self that's just been buried and ignored, and that needs the healing and the love and the attention that might have been unable to be tended because you were so consumed with externals of life. Now focusing all the love on self, you can integrate the shadow with the light, put it all together in one thing, and just say, that's who I am. I am deeply flawed. I do have serious issues, yes, but that doesn't define me. I have amazing gifts and talents, but that doesn't mean I'm a complete narcissist. I am both. I am all of this, and I love myself, and I'm in charge of my life. Thank you very much. No apologies. So what happens if you have a bad day and you forget to love yourself? Okay, you lose all your majesty, all your power, all your self-respect. It all kind of disappears, and you turn into kind of like one of those sad creatures that just go crawling along the ground and have zero self-respect. Over here, when you're having a good day and you do this really bizarre thing of love thyself, and you start to realize how it all actually works, you've already kind of got it going in a little ways over here, but we're taking this to next level. This is a whole other version of it. We're going totally next level, and you're becoming aware of what that really means. So what it really means is when you do this right, you see this as a formula, then it brings you in not only into taking charge and having direction in your life and owning it. It creates an aura around you of majesty, of dignity, of self-respect. And people can sense that. The King of Wands has a very powerful aura of deep self-love, deep self-respect with no apologies. And sometimes people need that. They need to see that in their life, in their world around them, so that they feel like they can have the courage to do this and be this way. It takes a huge amount of courage to love yourself to this extent, Cancer. Okay, and it looks like you have been charged with the mission and the journey and the task to do this. Okay, let's have a look at prospects here. Okay, it's just a warning. Don't take this too far. With the Emperor here, love thyself. I got really kind of pushy with the theme here. Please understand that Tarot Illumination is getting carried away with the reading, got all this momentum up like it's an epic movie. But there's a caveat. There is a caveat. Beware of when you start to fall in love with your own power. Okay? Absolute power corrupts absolutely. Okay? So let's say you get in the groove here and you think, wow, I can really do this. That's when the narcissism can kick in, where you think like, it is all me. It's me. I am like the center of the universe, and I control everything. I work all the buttons. And then all of this blows up. It's like you can end up like the despot, the dictator. You become so empowered with yourself. You learn a formula here, but then you think, now I learned the formula. It's like power. It becomes like an addictive drug. And then I can be absolute. I can do anything. I can control the universe. I'm just going to make people do what I want, however I want, whenever I want it, because I'm so loving of myself. Ha 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 ha. Duh, 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 duh. And then things can really, really tip upside down. That's what happens when you go big wave surfing. Okay, that's what I'm suggesting here. What I was trying to indicate earlier is, let's say this is you in your innocence coming into the reading. It's time to go big wave surfing. I'm on it. I'm on it. I see the big fat water trine. Tarot Illumination was talking about the Cancer Capricorn opposition. Oh, wow. I'm totally cruising, man. In fact, I got this. I'm so good. Look at this. Even those huge Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, Scorpio things at the end of the month. I got this. I am so awesome. I am so awesome. Look at me, everybody. Then crash. That's all I'm suggesting here. Be very, very careful. Be very, very careful. Once you get a taste for power, the healing power of love, the idea is like, it's the healing power of love. It's not the healing power of love. I don't know if that made any sense, but what I'm trying to indicate is it's very dangerous to be seduced by power, absolute power, and then it's like starting off like a yoga practice, and then you become really good and you have lots of followers, and then all of a sudden you turn into a cult leader. And it's very cool for a while, and people are flocking, and then all of a sudden people start to go, oh my God, he's a complete maniac. He's turned into a cult leader, or she's turned into like a cult leader, whoever this is. And stay away, like the power becomes corrupted. So be very careful. Okay, I kind of went over the top there. I went a little overboard, but it would make sense as far as I'm concerned in this month because of the fat water trine and the big Cancer Capricorn oppositions there a couple of times. So have a fun month. Give yourself plenty of chance to rest and get prepared for a gorgeous July Cancerian season coming up towards the end of the month. All right. Thank you, Cancer, so much. Enjoy. Bye-bye. See you soon.